Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. We'll just give it a few more minutes as people join. My name is Matt Alawali. I'm Ashton. Hopefully, everybody can hear me and see me fine. If, as you come in, if you're happy to stay on mute for the starting point, just so that speakers can speak clearly and people can hear speakers, that would be fantastic. Got a really packed agenda today, so we'll get going in a moment. If you'd like to introduce yourself, we have a chat function, and do feel free to say if you're from a faith community or a group or you're working on climate action. It's always nice to know who is on the call. So we will get going. So welcome very much to the third webinar in our Faith and Climate Action series, which is all about sharing learning from Birmingham for councils and communities. So for those that have not been to a previous one of our webinars, this is all part of a program set up by Bahu Trust, Footsteps, Ashton and the Saltley Trust. We're working together to support faith-inspired communities across Birmingham to deliver climate action. And through this series, we'll be sharing practical learnings for councils and communities of all the great stuff that we'll be getting up to in Birmingham to hopefully see more faith and climate action projects replicated elsewhere. So as I mentioned, those are the project partners. We have Ashton. So I'm from Ashton. Ashton are a climate change charity that identifies and scales best practice on climate action. We work mostly with community groups, councils and schools. The Bahu Trust, who are the program lead, they are a Sufi inspired mosque in Birmingham, exploring connection between Muslims and climate. We have Footsteps, who are an interfaith organisation bringing together a range of faith communities to tackle the climate crisis. And we also have the Saltley Trust, who are a charity supporting innovative work on theological education across the UK. So this is all part of a broader programme of work that is looking at how we can empower faith communities to play a much larger role on climate action. This program is split into three parts. So the first part is all about building local faith group capacity in disadvantaged areas of Birmingham. This is through the strand of our program called Grassroots. And we're delighted to say that we've been funding around 15 local faith climate action projects to trial and test different ways of engaging the community on climate action. We'll be hearing from one of those projects or two of those projects later today, so I'm excited for that. A second strand of this work is to work to embed faith within climate decision-making processes at both the Birmingham City Council and the West Midlands Combined Authority. And finally, what we want to do is share all this learning, as I just mentioned, from Birmingham more widely. And we'll be doing this through a series of theme sessions. So we previously did a launch webinar. We then ran a webinar on nature, so how faith groups and councils, can work better together on nature projects. And today we're looking at energy, but in the future we'll look at things like transport, community engagement, and circular economy, just to name a few. So on to today's webinar, focusing on energy. So I've just pulled a few stats together to really give some context about why faith communities are important to tackling energy and why this interconnection is such a valued space, whether you're a local authority exploring how they can incorporate faith within their climate action plans, a faith community looking to see how you can help your beneficiaries or perhaps reduce the energy costs of your building, or an activist looking to engage both faith communities and councils. Faith and energy, there's so much synergy. So I've put some stats there, but there's around 40,000 faith buildings in the UK. Many of these are used all year round and will have very high energy costs, particularly in the winter, and require energy systems that can be switched on and needed to heat sometimes 100 plus people. There are many challenges to decarbonising faith buildings. So many faith buildings are historic old buildings, typically churches, whereas others, more typically non-church buildings, are converted from previous buildings. So there's many faith buildings that are now converted from schools. We know Bahu Trust, parts of the Bahu Trust Mosque was converted to a piano factory, for example, and all of this brings lots of challenges. But despite that, we know, and data from the National Centre for Social Research shows that 14% of adults attend a religious service once a month. That's about 8 million adults, and 9% weekly. And although congregation numbers may be slightly lower as a percentage than a few decades ago, 8 million adults is a huge demographic, which means there's a significant opportunity to engage communities in a trusted space, all on energy. So how can we help communities cut energy bills, or improve their health by having a warmer house, all which tackles climate as well. So there's a tremendous opportunity for pulling closer ties between faith communities and energy use, and that's what we're going to look at today. So we've got a few conversations and presentations. So first, we're going to hear from Dr. Kiam from Adam Mosque. They have been a grassroots eco-action project. So through this program, we provided some funding to help this mosque set up an eco-energy club in their mosque in Balsall Heath in Birmingham. And we're going to hear from Dr. Kiam and also Maria Fernandez from Footsteps to hear about how they got on, what learnings they might have for other mosques or other faith communities. And then we're going to hear from Jason Horner from Eco Birmingham to talk a bit more about how they support faith communities to cut energy, as well as broader communities as well. Eco Birmingham have a wealth of experience on a range of topics, not just related to energy. So really looking forward to that. And then we're going to play a video from Takir Kiam, who will be talking about some of the approaches he's developed through his own grassroots eco-action project, which is all about how we can engage those communities hardly reached on energy bills. And to end, we're going to point you in the direction of some more case studies which show different faith communities and faith buildings that are looking at innovative ways of cutting carbon and bills. We will be taking questions as well. So the best thing to do about if you have a question is to pop it in the chat, and either our speakers will answer it directly in the chat, or we'll pop it to our speakers later on. Before finally we move on, I want to say that we'll be exploring climate and community values and faith from a range of different perspectives today. And I do encourage everybody to approach these conversations and debates and discussions with openness and a willingness to listen. If you could keep on mute, and as I said, pop questions in the chat, that would be great. We're also recording this session as well, so we'll share a recording with you afterwards. But before we go, move on to Maria and to talk with an interview about Adam Mosque, we're going to play you a short video, and I hope the sound works. It should do, about their Energy Savers Eco Action Club in a mosque in Birmingham. So I'm going to play this now. If for some reason you can't hear it, perhaps Maria or Femi, if you want to let me know, but it should work fine.
We will be starting next month an eco club in the masjid. We will be doing some workshop, and we will be training the people how you can reduce and protect your resources.
We live in a society at the moment where the cost of living is rising significantly. Our bills are going up, our water bills, our energy bills, our council tax. And especially energy, when we look at energy all around us, like the lights, like gas, and all things, we have two particular issues that we face in our community. We have some people who waste lots of energy. They leave the lights on all the time. They charging their devices or leave their car on. And Allah says in the Holy Quran, enjoy the bounty, eat and drink whatever Allah provides you, but don't be excessive. Allah does not like it.
Especially for the Energy Club here, for the Adam Mosque Energy Club, and if it helps, we can have them translated into other languages.
With the grace of Almighty God, the Eco Energy Club at Adam Mosque has reached an important milestone. Through our weekly sessions, brothers and sisters came together with real and strong desire to learn. People didn't just attend, they engaged, asked questions, and took practical steps to reduce their energy bills and improve their homes. One of our greatest achievements has been training our local volunteer as energy champion. These brothers and sisters are now confident to guide others, share learning materials, and direct community members to further advice and support. This means the benefit does not stop with the sessions, it continues within the community. After completing the program, our energy expert Jason visited homes, providing personalized advice and practical solutions. This hand-on support made a real difference and strengthened trust and understanding.
We recommend disposable dehumidifiers.
Now and hand over to Maria.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. So, first of all, I am Portuguese and I was appointed to the role of Eco Action Facilitator in March 2025. And since then, we have been engaging with a range of places of worship and faith communities across Birmingham. Today, we have here with us Dr. Kiam. He has been in the UK since 2012, and he has also a law degree. Dr. Kiam, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Salam. So can I please ask you, can you tell us a bit about Adam Mosque and how the idea of the Eco Energy Club came about?
Yeah, Adam Mosque is located in Sparkbrook, Birmingham. You can say in the heart of the city, and there is our community, deprived community, and when we was looking, the cost of living was increasing, and we was trying to how we can help and support our community. And I come across to meet Brother Kamran from Bahu Trust and Dr. Chris Martin from I think he's from Portstiff.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I discussed with them, and then we was trying, and we developed this idea. So how we can help and support our community, and then we come across that we can establish a energy club in our mosque, and where we can help and support our community, how to reduce their bills, and cost of living is increasing, so how we can support them. So lots of people, they are using the resources and they are wasting the resources as well. So it's all about teaching to convey and give them practical ways so they can reduce the bill. So this idea was there, and then Brother Kamran from Bahu Trust and Dr. Chris Martin from Footstep, we come across we can establish a Eco Energy Club where we can educate the people and we can make energy champion. So they will not directly, not only the community will be benefited, but we can, for the future, we can make energy champion. So it will be a continuous work, and the energy champion will guide more people, and we can share with other place of worship as well.
It seems so interesting. So you have been possibly hearing from the community their concerns around energy bills, home warmth, and house issues. Can you tell us a little bit more about this? So what are really the problems of your community, for example, regarding housing issues?
Yeah, Sparbrook and Balsall Heath area is all the people living there is not rich people, and there is a housing problem, there is a poverty problem. Lots of people have not able to cover their cost of living, and there are homes which is not suitable. There is dump and mold in the houses, and lots of the community people, they are coming to mosque regarding, they're complaining the increase in the energy bills. So that was the idea how we can help them and to teach them and give them some practical solutions. We will not give them the money so they can cover up, but there are ways so they can, if they apply the little bit daily habits, if they change it and they look after it. Likewise, we had a few sessions um, in our mosque and where they learn practical solutions. For example, if there is dump and mold, how they can tackle it and where they can go and to fix that problem. Also, if the heating is on, but it's not making warm the home, so what we can multiply that heating to make it warm the home. So there was the through that uh, sessions, the community learn and the energy champion learn how they can tackle that problems.
Thank you, Dr. Kiam. Another little question. How did introducing the Energy Club to Friday sermons, because you are in a mosque, help build trust and encourage people to take part?
Yes, if you we have around 1 month all the Friday sessions. Every sessions we deliver lecture on. We connect it to faith from Quran and from Sunnah and from the teaching of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and how we can connect it to protect our environment and protect the resources. So that was plan of our energy club. So first we took start from the Friday sermons to connect the faith with the saving the resources and protecting the environment. So that sessions done in the first month, and it was that things built trust of the people and the community. And there was lots of people there, around 20 to 30 people. They used to every week they used to come to our energy club, and that was a best and better initiative. Whatever we took, and the community, their trust was built, and they come and they learned. Yeah.
So your mosque became a good setting for this kind of energy advice and community learning. And
Yes.
you have now possibly a group of eco champions, as you call it,
Yes.
people that are capable also to deliver new sessions to the rest of the community. They became empowered. Can you
Yes.
please also give us a little bit an idea how important was to make all the advice practical with the help of Eco Birmingham?
Yeah. For example, the positive habits, the little bit nitty. For example, the people got land that if they are charging the mobiles and the socket and the cable is in the connect to the electricity, it's charging. It's you if you switch it off, all the for example, your washing machine, your kettles, your mobile phones, if you switch it off, so in a year it reduce your bills around 40 to 50 or 60 pound in a year. Likewise, the heating, there are some foil if you put behind your heating radiators, so it will multiply your heating and it will protect your resources. Likewise, the water taps, if you put it the auto ones or sensors ones, it will reduce your water bills and electricity and gas bills. And the people learned that especially the timing plus which there are LED bulbs instead of other bulbs that they're using. So they learn practical tips and they applied, and the people used to come back to us and they uh, give a very positive feedback that how they helped uh, their problems and it's reduced their bills. So through their sessions, Jason, we are very grateful to Jason. He helped a lot, and through their practical sessions, they learn a lot. And now we have every month our energy club. We used to come together. The community come together. We have the chit chat. We sometimes we have dinner or lunch, and we discuss, and we other people are also coming and they're learning, and we're sharing
Mhm.
our materials with them, whatever we got from Jason, from Dr. Chris Martin, and from yourself. So we are sharing all that materials with them, and they are getting. And if someone need, for example,
Mhm.
Jason also organized for our community to go specific and visit homes and give
Mhm.
specific advice to the people, whatever the problem they have. And they are very, very grateful to the mosque, because they are saying that the mosque give this opportunity to the community. So
That's
I'll say
great.
that it's a milestone, and it's a big achievement for our community.
Okay. This is lovely to we lovely to know. So the last question,
Yeah.
after all the experience that you shared with us, what learning would you share also with another mosque, another church, temple, or community group wanting to set up for something similar?
Yeah, what I will say that we are very much involved in interfaith work, and lots of people coming to our mosque, and we're visiting there as well. And where we go, we are sharing our this idea with the churches and with faith leaders. And they are also people. They are asking us that we want to visit you. So we are telling them that when we have energy clubs, you can come and see how
Okay.
our community, or energy champion, they are helping our community. So yes, we are very happy to share with others. If you recommend some special faith groups or churches or mosques, so we will give them the idea, and we can share the materials with them. And where will we go, we are sharing these ideas with them, and because it is very, very helpful for our community, and we hope that it will be helpful for others as well, for other communities as well.
Yes, yes, yes. So, without any doubt. Thank you, Dr. Kiem, for your lovely interview. And now back to you, Matthew. I think that the time is over for us.
Thanks so much, Maria and Dr. Kim. Really nice to hear how you um, taking energy advice to the community and creating a safe space to talk about these things, particularly with, although it's very hot at the minute, we know energy bills are skyrocketing and a real kind of core stress creator at the minute for families around the country, no matter who you are. So it's really nice to hear innovative ways of trying to reach communities and talk about energy and providing help as well. And it's also great to hear about the partnership with Eco Birmingham and how that has enabling more tailored and bespoke advice as well. And with that, sorry, let's hear from Eco Birmingham. So Jason is on the call. He's just, oh, there you are. Jason, over to you to talk about Eco Birmingham's faith community support around energy. And you're going to share your slides.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So hopefully it comes through. Yeah, there we go. All right, great. Yes. So Eco Birmingham, we're a charity that strives to create greener, fairer, and healthier communities in Birmingham. And we do this through energy advice, through creative learning and forest school for kids. We have a busy active travel program and various other sustainability initiatives as well. Over the last year in the Energy Project, we gave energy advice to over 2,000 individual households, places of worship, and community groups in 40 of the 69 wards in Birmingham. 98% of the participants identified at least one positive action that they would take and manage to reduce energy use. And a high proportion of those committed to specific and ongoing behavior changes as well. Over the last year, we've partnered with several faith groups, as well as community centers, schools, food banks, libraries, and other community groups as well. 3 of the places of worship that Eco Birmingham have seen a lot of take up in have been the Adam Mosque in Balsall Heath at Sparkbrook. We already heard from Dr. Kim about that. Another one is the Guru Nanak Gurdwara in Sparkhill, which was delivered in partnership with Footsteps and Bahu Trust as well. And another one is St. Francis Church of England in Bourneville, just 3 of several that we've had over the last year. And also in partnership with Footsteps in previous years, we have given 26 other churches, mosques, Gurdwara, and multiple religious learning centers energy audits and gave them detailed step-by-step options of how to improve their water usage and energy efficiency of their building as well. With St. Francis, we had an energy advice drop in at a few local community centers when we saw a poster that they had outside their building sharing about their over 55s lunch club. So we got in contact with the leader of that group, scheduled an energy saving workshop with their over 55s group. That event went so well, they invited us back for another community event they were running, and then again invited us to a workshop on staying warm and saving energy after their midweek communion service to their attenders. Each of these three groups was completely different, and it gave the opportunity to share with many vulnerable households in the community. As they were not one of the original energy audit recipients, they've also recently asked several questions about what they could do in their building to save more energy and make it more environmentally friendly, continuing this relationship further. That leads me on to the Gurdwara. After the energy audit that was completed for them, they became very interested in how they could foster environmental stewardship, reduce their carbon footprint, and engage the local community in long-term ecological practices. This all started with a drop-in energy advice session that we ran, and we spoke to over 60 people in multiple languages just outside the Gurdwara's Langar. And then new energy efficiency lighting was installed throughout the building's 3 floors, and they improved the windows and insulation, reducing their energy usage and making areas of the building feel much more comfortable as well. We then supported the Gurdwara in a gardening initiative, resulting in several plants inside, trees and pollinator-friendly plants outside, and they also implemented recycling and compost stations as well. We continue to run drop-in energy advice sessions at the Gurdwara, including one that we just ran last week, resulting in many more households receiving advice and practical items that make a difference in their energy-saving habits in their home. We've also given home visits to attenders to ensure that they and their homes are in the best position moving forward. This enables the householder to ask specific questions about their specific homes and ensures that they're correctly installing the energy-saving items that will work best for them, which could be radiator reflectors to make the heat go further, keep the home warmer for less money. It could be window insulation or draft excluders to temporarily solve single glazing or other drafts, but making them aware of potential ventilation issues if all the drafts are sealed as well. So giving very specific advice to their unique homes. Some homeowners can make big changes. Others are renting or in social housing and have less options, but everyone can do some things to make their home more comfortable and energy efficient. It's just trying to find that specific balance for each individual home. All of this supports the place of worship to make a tangible difference in the lives of their community members. Eco Birmingham's general approach to energy saving projects is to engage with the faith groups, the community centers, local organizations to understand their needs and identify how we can best support them. We begin by building relationship with the faith leaders, staff, volunteers, key stakeholders, taking the time to understand each community's priorities, existing activities, and challenges. Rather than taking a one-size-fits-all approach, we work collaboratively to co-design a support that complements what the group is already doing and delivers the greatest benefit to their community. Partnership building and stakeholder engagement are central to our approach. We ensure that the faith leaders, community representatives, and participants understand exactly what to expect from the project, helping to build trust, encourage participation, and maximize impact. By working alongside established community networks and trusted local organizations, we can reach more people, and we ensure that advice and support are delivered in ways that are accessible and relevant to that specific community and faith group. Every partnership looks different. We've already heard about the Adam Mosque and the Energy Club program, empowering them to become energy champions. Many other faith groups have welcomed energy advice sessions as part of their existing activities and programs. For example, we delivered energy support through a stay and play group at St. Christopher's in Sparkhill. We did regular after-school sessions at St. Gabriel's in Wheelie Castle, monthly sessions alongside an exercise class at the Holy Cross Roman Catholic Church in Sutton Coldfield, a monthly food recycling program that we came alongside at Falcon Lodge Chapel, and engagement with parent groups and the Student Eco Council at Gas Street Church's School in Longbridge. It's just some of many others as well. Across all of our projects, Eco Birmingham aims to come alongside communities as a supportive partner, strengthening and enhancing the work that they're already doing. By embedding energy advice within trusted community settings and fostering strong partnerships, we can increase the reach of our projects, engage people who may not otherwise access support, and maximize the impact of the advice, resources, and practical measures that we provide. Faith communities often know their members and the wider community best. They have a desire to make their attenders' lives better, and they generally have the trust of the community. Partnering with them makes a bigger difference and also gives greater reach for us than otherwise we would have had. If you're along from a faith group, you can see by this webinar that some councils are eager to support you and your community to save energy and therefore carbon emissions and money on your bills. There are also other charities and community groups that have the skills and the programs to deliver tangible benefits and advice to your community. The key is finding who in your area is the best partner to work with, who genuinely cares about your community and about saving energy. And if you're here from a council, if you have someone or some system in place that will genuinely help the community to save energy, reach out to the faith groups. Ask to meet with them and share what you can support the community with. Sharing your vision and showing the faith group where they fit in and what their members can get out of it can go a long way. It may take some time to meet with the correct leaders, whether it be the faith groups or the council, but taking some time to build trust as well. If you already have some network with the group or know someone in the community that attends regularly, that goes a long way in building the trust. It's not always easy, it's not always successful, but once the faith community sees that you're there to empower and support them to save energy, save emissions, save money on their bills, they'll often give you the opportunities and the platforms to share, resulting in those greener, fairer, and healthier communities. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Jake. It's great to see the kind of amazing breadth of support that you give to faith communities and other groups as well. If anyone has any questions for Jason, do feel free to pop them in the chat. Thank you very much for that, Jason. I just wanted to ask one question, which was, you talked about the importance of building relationships with faith communities. I wonder if you could, if you had any advice or contacts of how you, or perhaps how Eco Birmingham in the past have gone about building kind of new relationships. I'm sure many councils on this call will be thinking that they know of places of worship in their community. But yeah, how do you go about building relationships typically?
Yeah, and sometimes it's going in cold with seeing some of the events that they're already putting on and figuring out how we can partner with them, seeing if they'd be welcome to us coming alongside something they're already doing, like some of those stay and play groups or after school sessions or something like that, where the community already is, and helping them to understand that we're not there to necessarily sell them anything. We don't want that. We just want to empower the people that are already coming to save some money, to reduce their bills, reduce the carbon emissions, that sort of a thing. And then with networks that we already have, so we have been for many years going into various community groups for various things as well. So like I said, we have a lot of cycling activities. We have a lot of kids activities that we do as Eco Birmingham. Those often partner with community centers, which is just a natural partnership with the faith groups as well.
Great, thank you. And a follow-on question to that, if I may.
Yeah.
You obviously work with lots of different groups and lots of different faith groups. You mentioned Gurdwara, Energy Audit, and obviously Adam Mosque and other groups. And you do these kind of drop-in sessions and more tailored advice and home visits. Are there any specific energy advice or tips that you give to faith groups which seem to be very common? Are there kind of like the low-hanging fruit that all faith buildings can do or get going on? Is something really obvious that you say every time that it's a great faith community to start on? And there might be more, but yeah, what the line?
Yeah, sure.
So hopefully
and I think Dr. Kim has already touched on a few of them, of the amount of wasted energy with things being left on a regular basis can really add up. A lot of issues with heating, whether that be from drafts, so just losing heating straight away, or really inefficient boilers that people have, or that places of worship have, can cause a lot of problems too. So those are probably two of the not necessarily the easiest, but two of the biggest problems straight away. But
Fantastic.
every household and every faith building and all that, it's always going to be a little bit different. So what's the biggest problem for my home is not necessarily going to be the same one for yours or for your specific church or mosque. So it's always going to be a little bit different. So that's why it's best to sort of go in and see the situation. But yeah, there's no matter how good the building is right now, there's always going to be steps that can be done to further the energy efficiency of the building as well.
Fantastic. And Takir has put in the chat about how a great idea would be a Faith Doors festival where for 2 weeks people's open their homes, or faith communities or buildings open their doors to show what retrofit work or what energy saving work has been done to inspire others. And that's a really good idea as well. If anyone has any other questions for Jason, do pop them in the chat, and Jason, we can either come back to them or feel free to answer them if any questions do go in. But thank you so much for that whistle stop tour of lots of different bits of advice and support you give to a range of groups. It's great to see what Eco Birmingham do. If you want to, if you're happy to put maybe a link to Eco Birmingham in the chat, and people, because I know you've got other bits of information on your website that might be helpful as well. But thank you very much.
Yes,
so what we're going,
thanks.
no problem. What we're going to do next is we've got another video to share from Takir, who has been who has a funded climate action project, part of our that's all looking about engaging the hardly reached communities on energy. And Takir has some reflections we're going to share on this video in a moment. Hopefully, again, the sound should work, but Femi or Maria, just shout to me if not. So I'm just going to go to the video as it loads and go to my timestamp of 1 minute.
We're very fortunate to have
seconds.
Takir here with us. Takir is from the Puri.
Great. Oh, sorry, I've skipped a slide. I have to do that again.
We're
Sorry.
very fortunate to have
the most important thing I think on there is education and to work to a place to give energy advice which takes into account barriers such as the language barriers and being able to communicate effectively. Times have changed now, so many groups are using WhatsApp and also places of worship have community centers and places where advice can be given, but the priority now is making sure that homes are energy efficient and at the same time on there we have the heat wave today, have good ventilation, which I don't think a lot of people are kind of aware of that. So very much education, but having it done by community champions, faith leaders play an important role. So that's what I think needs to happen. There's still many barriers. I think the main barrier is education and language barriers, knowing where to get the information and knowing if the information is trusted. This is the reason I think initiatives like Green Doors, for example, are fantastic, but we need representation. We need more people from the building community who have had retrofit work done to them as a way to open the doors and to kind of build that trust, show what can be done on there. Sometimes there's a lot of kind of what you call power builders and work is not done to proper standards, and it could put off a lot of people. So I think having that kind of relationship with somebody from the mosque on there who is actually trained, so training people from who has got retrofit experience on there, and then that person being a go-between is really, really important. I think local authorities, they have a really important responsibility. From my 8 years of experience in community engagement, in making connections to places of worship, for example, we've done 30 energy assessments of the year on there, and we build that relationship. The key thing is listening, understanding the needs that every household, every place of worship has a specific need, has diverse communities on there, and actually supporting them with a plan of action that is best meets those needs on there. But relationship building is key, community capacity. The Footstep project with Ashton and Esme Fairburn, Bahu Trust on there is amazing. I've personally benefited from being a community communicator, telling stories about what can be done in connecting people to nature, for example. But community capacity building needs the support of local authorities to really showcase positive things which are can happen, but it needs to be supported both politically, but also, for example, in making those connections and sharing that positive things that happen to other places of other communities, other places of worship.
Thank you so much, Takir. And so that was Takir talking about how his for his Eco Action project, communicating and engaging the Puri communities in Birmingham to understand how we can better reach communities on energy saving. And I really like the idea of WhatsApp energy clubs. And I went to an event in Camden not too long ago with their Bengali community. This is in North London. And they have a WhatsApp energy club where they only send 2 WhatsApp messages a week, and no one is allowed to respond so that people don't get WhatsApp spam and all of that. And it shares 2 practical tips that can save money, and they're kind of seasonally relevant as well. So you have some energy and summer tips as well, winter's tips. So that's a great idea as well from Takir. To end today, what we wanted to do, so we have talked a lot about Birmingham. We wanted to just signpost to some other great case studies that we found online that are happening for other faith communities outside of Birmingham. So I wanted to share some 4 case studies, and we'll be sharing the slides afterwards, which will have links to this. So one was a Gurdwara leadership training. So through this project, the Sri Guru Singh Sabha Gurdwara, Gurdwara representatives work directly with energy specialists to inspect the building and essentially carry out an audit to look at where energy use was in high demand and where energy was wasted. And what they essentially did was built a project which upskilled the Gurdwara's leaders to make them less dependent on energy advice from other people, or perhaps so the Gurdwara itself was exploring ways in which it could start investing in its own retrofit measures. So this training project helped the Gurdwara become more eco-friendly by doing targeted measures, and by training up Gurdwara leadership, they were able to run community events that shared household energy saving advice with families as part of their Eco Gurdwara program. And although often many energy projects in faith communities are all about reducing energy consumption of buildings and often taking energy measures, we forget the knock-on benefits of upskilling faith leaders as well to have a longer-term change. So that's one Sikh example we saw, which I thought was worth sharing. Another one is the Nottingham Liberal Synagogue. So here an environmental audit was carried out where the synagogue established an environmental impact team, which was intended to involve and engage different age groups across their congregation. They did an energy audit to review their energy use, but also look at procurement. So look at the food they were purchasing, look at their recycling, education, what different types of workshop activities were happening. And then this identified specific actions the synagogue could take, and also highlighted some of the good stuff they were already doing, which they were able to share about. And they ran an Eco Shabbat event. They've started implementing environmental teaching, things like composting as well, and all of it more broad and nice things. But that's an example of a Jewish project. This next one is the Masjid in Hackney Mosque in Hackney. So I know there was a mention in the chat about support from Hackney Council for mosques here, but this one was quite an interesting case study because it talks about flexible heating based on prayer attendance. So many faith temples will be hard to heat or keep at a consistent temperature. Most temples are made up of lots of different buildings and live in different rooms as well. So what this mosque did was develop plans to divide its prayer rooms into heating zones, depending on how it was being used that day and the attendance. So this meant that only certain rooms were heated when it was required. So energy was not wasted, saving money and also carbon emissions. So on a quiet weekday, the mosque could heat the front quarter of the room or just specific rooms, whilst on Friday prayers, when it would be much busier, they would heat the whole space. And it was estimated from the case study we saw that this would reduce heating demand by about 15%, which would deliver significant energy savings. On top of this, the mosque is planning energy advice workshops, which are probably already being delivered now, for local residents and other Muslim organizations as well, so similar to the Adam Mosque as well. And a final case study, and I saw we have someone from the Church of England in the chat as well, Emma. So this might be known to you, but the Chester Cathedral Heritage solar installation. So Chester Cathedral installed solar panels on its Grade 1 listed building, which sits right within a conservation area in Chester Centre. This was all part of the Church of England's ambition to achieve net zero and reduce energy use. What often is a difficult challenge for installing solar on historic buildings is that there are limitations. There's planning permissions. You might be unsure about whether you can find local installers that have experience of going up on church roofs. Nevertheless, the Chester Cathedral project managed to get this done, and in the first year alone, the energy savings that were made are telling them that over the life cycle of the solar panels, which will be about 20 years, they're looking at estimated energy savings of about £300,000, which I would doubt per year these energy savings would be the same as displacing 16,000 miles in an average car, which is great to think it's just going on top of a church, and it can't really be viewed unless you're probably 100 meters tall. It can't really be viewed from the outside, and it's not also disturbing the kind of aesthetic of the church either, which is also a big concern. So those are some other case studies of climate action projects related to energy that we wanted to share as well. So I'll start. Any of our speakers today, do pop it in the chat. What I'm going to do is we have a quick, very short poll, which I'm going to launch now or in a moment. Would be really helpful if you could fill this out, particularly thinking about the final question specifically as we're planning more events. We'll be doing future webinars on different themes. So if you're a local authority, it'd be great to hear what support you need to engage faith communities and how this webinar can hopefully help you with tools and ideas. And if you're a faith community, how can we help you go further in engaging your congregations or engaging your faith leaders or having conversations with communities? Hopefully you can see that poll now. Femi, can you see that on the screen? Great stuff. I just want to say a massive thank you to Dr. Kiam from Adam Musk, also to Jason Horner and from Eco Birmingham, and to Kia as well for taking the time to pull together those video answers. We will be sharing slides and a recording after this, and we will be doing our next webinar in the autumn. And we haven't decided nothing for that, but if you do have any specific ideas or requests, do always get in touch with us, as we're happy to kind of adapt and change things as we go. But thank you so much, everybody, for coming, and I hope you managed to keep cool this week, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jude. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.